Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. We are here in Star Trek Online, and we are going to continue where we left off from last time. We are currently doing the Klingon War story arc, and in the previous episode we finished our first part, which was the Diplomatic Orders mission. And today we're going to be focusing on the next mission, Stranded in Space. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So yeah, hail.
I've received a report there is a Bolian freighter that is overdue arriving at Earth space dock. It may need assistance.
Dana Brott is an experienced captain and the daughter of a former Starfleet officer. It's not like her to be out of contact. Your orders are to head out to sector space and find the Azura. I've already transmitted the ship's last known coordinates to your con officer. Good luck. Alright, I'll get on that.
You are now in sector space. Here ships travel at warp speed between systems. Combat does not take place in sector space.
Alright, so without further ado, we need to go find Azura Blues. So, go to the SS Azura. Yeah, let's set course, shall we?
To any ships in range, this is Dana Brott of the transport SS Azura. Please help! Warp core containment field down! Radiation flooding ship! Communications and life support failing! Cannot eject warp core! Need immediate evacuation and assistance! Please help us!
That does not sound good.
To any ships in range, this is Dana Brott of the transport SS Azura. Please help. We're being pursued by Orion raiders. Crew injured, taking heavy fire. Dropping out of warp near your coordinates. Need immediate evacuation and assistance. Please help us.
Tyrell, keep tracking that distress signal. Sir, sensors are picking up several light attack craft on an intercept course. We will need to deal with them before we can render aid to the SS Azura. Full power to shields. Helm, take us in range.
Warning, ship is under attack.
to scan the Azura here. Captain, I'm detecting elevated radiation levels on the Azura. I've alerted the transporter chief of the situation. She can brief you before you beam over to the Azura. OA team, report to the transporter room.
Captain, I'm concerned about the radiation on the Azura. She might have some damage to the warp core, but our sensors can't pick up enough to determine exactly what you'll find over there. I'm sure I can send you and the away team to the ship safely, but getting you back might be a problem until the Azura's critical damage is repaired. Step on the transporter pad when you're ready to go, and be careful, sir.
Try to keep a look on us and prepare to transport survivors. Alright, let's beam out. Alright, we got some plasma leaks here we need to shut down. Sir, I'm picking up multiple life signs. Some of them are the Azura's captain and crew, but the rest are Orion. Plasma leaks are blocking our path to the survivors. We will need to use the consoles to safely vent the plasma. Rescuing survivors is our top priority. Oh. Alright, there's the plasma leaks. What do we have here? The crew member is critically injured, and you do not have the training needed to assist him. Alright. Okay, let's try to bypass this plasma conduit. Alright, all is clear. Alright, anything of possible use here? What do we have here? Another plasma conduit. Just what we were looking for. Alright, that's everybody. Alright, and our third and final conduit here. Alright, that's all of them. Who do we have here? The warp core is going critical. Scanning the warp core, Captain. Catastrophic failure of the antimatter containment. Warp core breach is imminent. Captain, unless the breach is contained, the Azura will be destroyed.
We hit an Orion ambush on our way to K7. We lost our weapons almost immediately, and then we took a direct hit near engineering. Our warp engine's magnetic antimatter containment field failed. We had no choice but to drop shields and use the power to try to stabilize the containment field. As soon as the shields were down, Orions boarded the ship. I'll never let those green pirates have the Azura. Please, take my crew to safety. I'll keep trying to stabilize the warp core. If I'm lucky, I can buy you some time.
I'll help your crew. Alright, lead the way. Alright, time to return to the aft cargo bay. Got Klingons ahead, it looks like.
It is no surprise that the cowardly Orions cannot even handle raiding a freighter. But their call for assistance has given us a chance for glorious combat.
Captain, there must be a cloaked Klingon vessel in the area. We should alert the ship. Basilan, we have Klingons. When you were in the Academy, you studied mission reports from the USS Archer. In one instance, crew on the Archer reconfigured a plasma conduit and used it to disable a group of Klingons who had boarded their vessel. You might be able to do something similar. Alright, we'll try to use the plasma to clear Orions from our path then. If we need to. Alright, nice. We were able to complete that. So that may have cleared some enemies for us, I suppose. I'm not really sure. Anyways, back to the aft cargo bay. Away, team to Basilan. Are you ready for transport? The Azura's radiation levels are returning to normal. The survivors of the Azura's crew are on the transporter pad. We don't have much time. Get these people off this ship, now! We have them, sir. Sensors detect Orion reinforcements on the way, Captain. We need you back on the bridge. Alright, beam out. Alright, time to head to the bridge. Captain, incoming message from the Klingons. Putting it on screen.
Leave now if you know it's good for you, Starfleet. We are taking this ship, her crew, and her cargo.
The Azura and her crew are under Starfleet's protection. Captain, we need to get within range and try to get a transporter lock on Captain Broad. We'll save Captain Broad.
Attempting to get a transporter lock on Captain Broad, sir. Boosting containment. We have her, Captain.
Captain Broad is safely aboard, sir. And just in time, too. We got her just before the ship exploded. Captain Broad has requested that we take her and her crew to sector space. Starfleet will get them home from there. She said she would be happy to speak to you, if you wish. I'll speak with the captain.
You saved my crew. I'll tell you whatever I can.
What was the Azura's mission?
The Azura was a transport ship, best in the quadrant. Mostly I hauled medical supplies or farming equipment, but I had room in the cargo bays for a little of everything. I have one customer who is just crazy for Tranya.
Really?
I don't save the galaxy on a regular basis like you Starfleet types do, but hauling cargo is a good way to make a living. I'm helping people in my own way.
Alright, I've got another question. Tell me about the Orions.
There's thieves, pirates, and a whole lot of trouble if you ask me. Raiders have always been a danger to ships like mine, but the problem has gotten worse since the Orions allied with the Klingons. Now they think they can do anything to anyone. Someone needs to put a stop to these raids.
What happened to the Azura?
We have been having trouble with the warp core for a few days. I was hoping I could make it to the closest starbase, but when the containment field started to collapse, I used every bit of power we had to help stabilize it. The minute I rerouted power from the shields to the containment field, the Orions were there. For all I know, they detected I was in trouble and were waiting for the right time to pounce.
What will you do now?
Go back to Belarus for a few weeks, I suppose. I have enough latinum saved up to get me back on my feet. As soon as I can get another ship, I'll be doing transport runs again. I have customers waiting.
Ready to leave the system on your command, sir. Not yet. Let's pick up some, let's scan some things around here first before we leave. Alright, let's hail Starfleet.
Well done. You saved that crew just in time.
I do what I can.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Skill points. Click here to learn more.
Alright, we get some skills. That's cool.
Skills will increase your effectiveness in both space combat and ground combat.
Alright. I guess we're gonna focus on mostly damage dealing here. Alright, and looks like we are all set for this mission. Thanks for joining on this episode of Star Trek Online. We will continue our journey through the Klingon War story arc in the next episode, starting with Researcher Rescue. So without further ado, I will see you guys next time.